The process of transforming exhaustion into energy and finding fulfillment in one's spare time. There is a lot of irony in this situation when you think about it. A significant number of us spend our workdays daydreaming about our leisure time, namely the valuable hours that we have after work. Reading, unwinding, perhaps taking up a new pastime, or spending quality time with loved ones are all things that we imagine ourselves doing in the future. On the other hand, dusk arrives. What exactly takes place? We scroll down. When we binge, a haze has settled over us while we sit here. It goes to waste. Because it was once mine, I am not unfamiliar with this story at all. Nothing more than a haze of exhaustion, thoughtless contentment, and low-grade guilt over everything I could be doing, but wasn't what I experienced during my evenings, before I altered it. Furthermore, this is not another productivity cult that preaches unachievable routines and standards of discipline that are military grade. In the following paragraphs, you will find 8 straightforward and effective strategies that function in conjunction with your energy rather than against it. In order to recover my nights, feel invigorated, and genuinely enjoy life after work, I continue to employ these tools even to this day. Ending your work before you start your life is the first one in the shutdown ritual. We frequently believe that the clock is the indicator that the workday has come to an end. No, it is not. This is a manifestation of intention. When I finished my shift at work, I stood up, took 3 deep breaths, and physically shut off my laptop. This was the beginning of my transition. After some time, I began referring to it as my shutdown ritual. How come? The reason for this is that it functions as a psychological switch. My brain needed to receive a clear signal that stated, "Work is over, you are safe now, and it is time to shift." Despite the fact that it only took me 10 seconds, this short routine brought me a great deal of emotional relief. The 90-minute evening block system is the second item on the list. What used to throw me off track is as follows. When I was younger, I used to think of the evening as a single enormous chunk of time. The sensation was intense. I would therefore put things off. What is the key? The following are the 3 90-minute chunks that I divided it into. The first block, recovery from 6 o'clock to 7:30. There is no need to plan and there is no anticipation. Take some time to relax. Growth 7:30, 9 o'clock is the topic of block 2 reading, hobbies, education, and physical activity are recommended. When this happens, you will feel like you have a second wind. There will be a connection during block 3, 9 o'clock to 10:30. Time spent with friends, writing in a journal, and getting ready for bed are all important. This transformed everything in a way. Time travels more smoothly when it is organized around energy rather than the clock. Starting with sleep and working backward is the third step in the reverse scheduling method. The entire day, from morning to evening, is planned out by everyone. So what if we were to turn it around? I began establishing a non-negotiable time for going to bed, which was, for example, 10:30 p.m. Next, I began my evening by working my way backward from there. My evening was no longer considered wasted time. Rather, it was seen as prime time, which meant that it was protected and given priority. The process of reverse planning provided me with boundaries, and boundaries provided me with tranquility. Number 4, the 2-minute reset. Clear space, clear mind. The simple way to reset your mind. When I was younger, I would jump from one work to the next without taking a break, and I would always feel pressured and distracted. Consequently, I started performing a 2-minute reset in between each activity. Make sure your desk is clear, turn down the lights, change into a different outfit, and light a candle. Your brain may learn to reset with the help of these simple physical resets. They send a message to your neurological system that says, new phase, new focus. Before writing the following concept, it is similar to clearing the whiteboard. Digital wellness, app mortality, and the analog hour is the 5th thing on the agenda. Let's face it, technology is the one that takes our evenings. For this reason, I devised 2 rituals to recapture mine. Every night, I erase one app off my device. This is known as app mortality. Tomorrow, if I find that I require it, I will reinstall it. The vast majority of the time, I do not. During the analog hour, all electronic devices are turned off 1 hour before bedtime, and more importantly, they are removed from the room. It was not about being opposed to technological advancements. Using it in a deliberate manner was the focus. Also, when my electronic devices slept before I did, I was able to get a better night's rest. Journaling your future self, but not what you think, is the sixth thing. One thing that I do every night is write a brief letter to my morning self. The letter is not about what I should do, but rather about how I want to feel. I want to possess a sense of steadiness and clarity. I want to wake up in a calm manner, not in a hurried manner. I would like to have pride rather than reactivity. When you give your brain a sensation to aim toward, it is good at reverse engineering the results of the outcome. The emotional blueprints that I used to create my evenings were included in these letters. Number 7, the social battery audit. Who provides you with energy? There are differences in the quality of every social occasion. I began to become aware of the fact that certain individuals left me feeling revitalized. I was drained like an old iPhone by others, to put it simply. Because of this, I decided to do an energy audit of my social life. My evening tribe consisted of 3 to 5 close relationships that I worked hard to cultivate. In addition, I put into practice what I refer to as the social recharge protocol, which states that I schedule 15 minutes of quiet time for every hour that I spend on socializing. I began to have a sense of genuine connection when I disregarded the notion that all connections were created equal. In the 8th place, we have the creative wheel and the micro-habit stacking. I made an effort to develop some great habits, such as keeping a notebook for half an hour and reading for an hour. In no way did they adhere. What did this work? It's a collection of micro-habits heaped together. As an illustration, when you go in the door, you immediately hang your keys, change your clothing, light a candle, and then make tea. In less than 30 seconds, each one is completed. Nevertheless, when they are brought together, they cascade into a new state of existence. This was followed by the addition of a creative activity wheel, which consisted of 4 things that I enjoyed doing in rotation: sketching, making music, crafts, and reading. Every night I do one and spin the wheel at the same time. There is no indifference, there is no hurry. Flow from the top down. Practicing this brings about a sense of closure and peace. It transforms the final moments of your evening into a meaningful and reverent experience. And as time went on, it taught me something more profound. Your evenings are not only opportunities to replenish your energy, they are also opportunities to shape who you are. Not only do you conclude each day with a positive attitude, but you also end it with a sense of purpose. The next one is one that you start with a calm and assured assurance. The most important takeaway. The lesson that I took away from this experience is that your evenings do not have to be flawless. However, it is necessary for them to be yours. It is a well-known fact that every meaningful existence is constructed from those evenings that are significant. To be more specific, not only productive ones, but also connected ones, intentional ones, and calm ones. Your evenings are not considered to be leftovers. In the process of becoming the person you are, they serve as the foundation. For this reason, I would like to extend an invitation. Do not squander another night. Acquire it back. Take one breath, perform one ritual, and form one micro habit at a time. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.